Welcome back to another video. This is Atomic, and today I'm going to be doing a top 5 list of the armor pieces that I think are going to be, well, they are the best items in the game, at least for the most part. I do have some honorable mentions, but as for our number 5 slot, we got the Contractor's Gloves. Now these, they did just get nerfed to 8% instead of the 11% damage. But I think that was honestly not really necessary because, I mean, 11% wasn't even that bad to begin with. And I think it was pretty balanced as is. It only becomes really broken if you're using the Fox Sprayer knee pads, which we will be talking about as well in this video, which adds an additional like 15% to damage to armor or damage to targets out of cover. But even then, like, you're not going to be, damage glitching, melting these guys like how you would if you had the damage glitch on. So that's the Contractor's Gloves. And for our number 4 slot, we have Fox Prayers. Again, I was just talking about this. They lowered this down to 8% as well with the recent patch notes, and we'll update really. So it's no longer 15%, but it's still going to be a viable option for those LMG builds. The damage to target out of cover is really handy on the LMG builds, mainly because you can just mag dump on like anybody with like 100 to 250 rounds, depending on the LMG that you're using. Or if you're running Bullet King, that's still a viable option. I'm running Pestilence. So, but those are the Fox Prayers. And for our next slot, we will be talking about the Zero F's chest piece. This isn't a crazy good chest piece, but I think it is worth mentioning because of the talent it has. It has the Perfectly Unbreakable. When your armor is depleted, repair 100% of your armor. Cooldown is 55 seconds. But the reason why I have these at the number 4 slot and not like I forget what mask it is that you get from the Dark Zone. That mask is really good, but I don't have it. So this is just a list of things that I have. But I think this chest piece is really good for those tank builds if we ever do get out of this DPS and skill meta and tanks become a little bit more viable again. But this is definitely one to look at. It's not as good as Tardigrade, but it's something if you don't have the Tardigrade chest system. As for our number 2 slot, we have the Coyote's Mask, which coincidentally stacks, which makes this actually really good for running in like large fire teams, due to the simple fact that not only does it have your DPS that you're usually running for your builds or your skill builds, but you also buff your allies, and if your allies are using it, they buff you. So it's like depending on how far they are. So as you can see, it has Packed Instincts. You and all allies gained a bonus based on distance of the last enemy you hit. So 0 to 15 meters is 25% critical hit damage. 15 to 25 meters is 10% critical hit damage and chance. And 25 meters and up is 25 critical hit chance. So if people are sitting in the back with the M1A, I know it just got nerfed, but I think it's still going to be pretty good for the most part. Yeah, you get buffs all around if your whole fire team's using this. And onto our honorable mentions here. I have like 3 items, I think. So I'm putting the Imperial Dynasty in this. It is an exotic. It recently did just get buffed. The cooldown got reduced to, I believe, 35 seconds or 30 seconds. But all in all, with the build that I'm running now, I'll have it in the end card on the end of this video, so you can go watch that video if you want. But it's basically a debuff build, but I specifically like this one because it applies burn to the closest enemy within 20 meters. So like if you have like a couple shotgun rushers running at you and you're running like Creeping Death or something, the burn will actually spread to the closest shotgunners. Like if there's another shotgunner there, it'll spread to that guy that's running with the first shotgunner. So it'll stop both of them in their track without even causing the you to use a trap damage. But on to our next honorable mention, which is Forge, the holster. So I noticed a lot of people really enjoyed my shield build, and this I didn't have at the time for the shield build, even though I think I am running it on the shield build because I'm running Coyote's Mask on it. But this one gives you 10% shield health. So let's say you're running the first shield that you could use the pistol with. I think it's called the Bulwark shield or something like that. Anyways, it's a full body shield, but it has a tremendous amount of health if you're running skill and armor with it, because the armor attributes actually count towards the skill attributes for that shield. And you can get up to like 15 or 16 million health with that. And for our third honorable mention, third and last one, is the Acosta Go bag. I think it's good, but I think it needs to be reworked. The buffs, the bonuses that you get from 2 in the bag, they're nice and all, but I think 1 in the hand, I think that just needs to be changed overall, because like I think the skill tier, like the seconds that it's up for, I think it needs to be increased a little bit, maybe to like 20 seconds or 25 for the overcharge. But at the same time, it just, I don't really like how the overcharge system works, because you end up having to use like certain perks to get even overcharged. And to be fair, the overcharged ability, you do get a substantial buff, but I just think it's a little bit lackluster to have as a talent. And I wish it would just last longer. There's no difference between this perk and like putting on a yellow backpack with I believe I forget what perk it is, but it gives you an overcharge when you kill an enemy or something like that. But on to our number 1 slot, it is the Tardigrade armor system. This isn't really a surprise. This is probably by far the best exotic they introduced in the game. As you can see, it has ablative nanoplating, which is whenever why does it say your? Whenever you or an ally armors break, like you have the armor of your ally break, gain 80% of your armor as bonus armor for 10 seconds. Cooldown per ally 45 seconds. But killing an enemy with a specialization weapon removes this cooldown for all allies. So if you're running Tip of the Spear and you're getting your specialization ammo every 60 seconds, which you can drop it down to 30 with, I think, either the backpack or the chest piece. But every 60 seconds you get an ammo. So if you're running like a grenade launcher or the sniper specialization, with that you can actually just keep getting kills with that weapon and resetting this, and essentially your team just won't die for the most part. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video of my top 5 armor pieces and gear, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll be probably posting more. I don't know if I'm gonna post any more of this game. I've kind of ran out of things to do, so if you guys have any ideas, like leave me a comment. I'll probably upload some Fallout 76. I've been hearing some good things about that, and I'm an avid Fallout fan. See you guys in the next one.